mean, at this point, I'm just kind of addicted to it. I know this Skyclave's great, but look at these Mothriders, baby! Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. Thank you all so much for taking the time to support the channel. I hope you're having a magical day. One of the most competitive decks for myself in recent history, and I'm sure for many of you as well, Milky Smooth. Today we get an update for the newest Alchemy cards. This is version 14. I cannot believe we've done 14 upgrades or variants to the build. The latest addition will be the Mothrider. Very, very exciting. Today we'll break down the deck list, talk about the strategies, the synergies, showcase all of this within the gameplay footage, wrapping up with our final thoughts, deck review, and other general shenanigans that I think of throughout the process. So buckle up, get ready, make sure to like the video, show your support, right? It's very easy. Subscribe to the channel as well for more great content like this on a day-to-day basis, and maybe even become a YouTube member for exclusive content. Let's take a look at the deck. Alrighty then. How's the mic, you guys? Was that a nice ASMR teeth clean? Oh, so cringe. Anywho, we had some mic issues the other day, and moving it a little bit closer to my, almost too close. I'm like, it's a good thing this pop filter's here. I'd go to town. Anyways, Milky 60 card standard, best of 1, 2.8 average mana value with 23 lands, but we actually have 2 additional lands in here, bringing us to 25, which is very, very consistent because we want to curve out to 4 without missing a beat, because both the Inquisitor Captain and the newly incorporated Mothrider Cavalry is really going to definitely push the favor of the match towards ourselves, which is quite nice. So if you're unfamiliar, the Mothrider Cavalry is a new 4-drop as a 2/2. The spell costs 2 less to cast if you have no other creature cards in your hand, or if the only other creature cards in your hand are also named Mothrider Cavalry. It has flying, and other creatures you control get +1/+1. It's a non-legendary, so you can stack it as well, which is very, very nice. And then we're going wide with the deck. It's an aggro deck. We like to place a ton of creatures in play, and then, you know, increasing their toughness and strength by 1 is very, very nice. It is a 4-drop, so you're not playing it through the captain, but at the end of the day, we can't all be heroes. Synergizing very well with Adeline, Resplendent Cathar. Toughness of 4, strength of however many creatures you have in play. Whenever you attack, you'll create a 1/1 white human that's tapped and attacking as well. Again, it's the creation of that 1/1 human turn after turn, or attack after attack. That's very nice with the Mothrider, because it's going to, you know, become a 2/2, 3/3 for every moth that we play. And then we have the Intrepid Adversary as well. Only 2 copies in here. You know, I wish I could hold more, but we're having a hard time balancing all of the cards that we want, because there are so many great cards. Yes, if you want to risk the biscuit with the land, sure, run 4 copies. But for me, it's about consistency, right? I don't want to win 1 match in a blowout. I want to win 80% of the matches, even if they are a struggle. It's a 3/1 with lifelink, and we can pay 2 as it enters the battlefield any number of times to put that many Valor counters on it, and then each other creature will get a +1/+1 for the equivalent of the Valor counters that we put on to the Intrepid, which is really nice. So the Intrepid increases the strength and toughness of our creatures, as does the Mothrider, which is very nice. And then the Adeline makes surplus creatures. We also have the Usher making creatures as well through the Boast ability. Whenever it attacks, you can pay 2 to create that 1/1. A very good way to, you know, utilize your mana and also swing the turn to night through the Brutal Cathar if you want, while still, again, utilizing that 2 mana on your turn. Obviously, this is the Exile, not to get into it as it doesn't make tokens too much, but for 3 mana, 2/2, exiles creature. When it enters, if you don't cast, it flips to night, and when it changes back into itself through a double cast, it will, again, grab another creature, so on and so forth, which is really nice. Nightbound has First Strike as a 3/3 and Ward to pay 3 life in order to target it, which is very decent, only for your opponent, not yourself. And then back to the creation of creatures. Not a token, but a conjure, the Sigardian Evangel. Very, very good. For 2 mana, a 3/1. Aggressive right out of the gate. When it enters the battlefield, conjure another copy of it and tap a permanent that an opponent controls, which is, you know, very, very groovy. So you're getting an additional copy of it. You can tap something, and this can just chain on, which is you know, about the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Opening up your attack lane so you can take a big swing with all of your creatures going really wide that get powered up, right? You're still taxing your opponent a little bit through Thalia. It's really easy to play. The first strike is nice. It's just good stats. The Luminarch Aspirant, we cannot play without it. You know, I'm addicted to it, right? I'm having a hard time weaning myself off of the Aspirant. It's still good, and I like it specifically within this deck because the Mothrider as a 2/2 and flying can receive those +1/+1 counters very, very effectively, right? That's going to be really nice for us if we go that route. And then, of course, you know, we do have the counters to remove through the Hopeful Initiate to destroy artifacts or enchantments, which in today's meta is a big deal. So the Luminarch Aspirant is always nice there. However, we could accumulate them just through the training ability of the Hopeful Initiate for 1 mana as a 1/2, in which we'll pay 3 to remove those 2 counters to destroy, like I said, that artifact or enchantment. Skyclave, much like the Brutal Cathar, however, it's non-token, 4 mana or less. So there's a couple things that we have to check off there to make sure that we do get the removal, but it's nice because we can take care of the enchantments and the artifacts that aren't in play as creatures, even planeswalkers, right? Whereas the Brutal Cathar only takes creatures. And then when it leaves the battlefield, they're going to get a token, which is nice because when the Brutal Cathar leaves the battlefield, they just get their creature back. So if we can Skyclave first and then they remove our Skyclave, get the token, then our Brutal Cathar can take the token as it is a creature, and it will just, you know, cease to exist as tokens don't go to exile. They just evaporate. And then again, the Captain, as it enters play, is a 3/3 with Vigilance for 4. You get to look at the top bunch cards. How many is it? How many do you look at? When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, there are 20 or more creature cards with mana value 3 or less from among cards in your grave, hand, and library. Seek 2 creature cards with mana value 3 or less. You don't even look at the top, whatever. You just pull 2 out at random. God bless. And you get to put 1 into play. The other goes into the library, which is great. So what's nice about this is the fact that you have to have 20 or more creatures with mana value 3 or less, which we do. There's no problems here. But it's the conjuration of the Sigardian Evangel that really does put this over the edge, because we're bringing, you know, 1 extra 2 or less drop into the grave every time we play it, if not more when they deal with the ones that we played on the field, which is, again, really, really good to keep our total above 20, because sometimes as you flood the field with your creatures, it doesn't count the creatures in the battlefield here, so you go and dip below that total and you'll have a whiff, and that is so sad. So we can just avoid that through the Sigardian Evangel, which I really, really like. And that's the reason we're running more Evangels than adversaries. As you know, the bodies, again, are beautiful, but it's the filling of the grave through those creatures to make sure we can consistently pull off the Captain. Emiria's Call, 2/4/4 angels with flying. Non-angels gain indestructible until the end of our next turn, which is great. Or just to our next turn, the beginning of our next turn, which is still fine though, right? Instant speed field wipes don't exist here. Cave of the Frost Dragon to attack, so 3/4 for 6. Seed of the Empire to destroy for 3. This is reduced through legendaries like Thalia, like Adeline, right? So we can cast this for as little as 1 if we have both of them out. And then 19 basics, which again is quite a few land, bringing us to that 25 with the call. The Emiria's Call is great if, you know, you're piling on and you do make it to 7 mana. It's great if they're milling you because it's a 7-drop through Tasha. And, you know, it's just what happens if you have to play it as a land. No harm, no foul. Most of the times we can mitigate that life loss through Intrepid if we really need. That's the deck, you guys. I've been slapping with this deck from 98% to the top 700 or 800, I believe, and then settling in around 1500 after, you know, a couple different iterations and many, many matches. So definitely able to compete with all of the new Alchemy decks, which is really nice. I do think that the Mothrider needs some more love, right? I don't like it. It would be really cool, and more on this at the end of the video, to run things like Wedding Announcement. That is a non-creature, so you're going to have a reduced Mothrider more often. However, it is more beneficial, I feel, right now, to be using the tax through Thalia. Because what good, you know, is all of these tokens when they just get meat hooked, and you can't really deal with that. So I do prefer Thalia more, and I don't want to be taxing myself And this is where we can get into a sideboard play, right? We can kind of, sideboard Thalia out, putting the wedding invitations in as a really nice play to still support the new card, which we're, just trying to have fun with in general. That's what this is all about, the Mothrider Cavalry. Just getting a feel for it, because yes, we can look at the card and say, oh, this is strong, this is bad, but we don't actually really understand it as in-depthly as we should until we play a whole bunch of games with it, right? See other people play with it like you will today, which is super exciting. And let me tell you what, when you start stacking this thing and casting it for 2, like, holy Toledo's. At one point today, I think I had 3 of these out, which was pretty ridiculous. And a 4th one ready to hit as well, which is fun. So having just a ton of fun with this deck. Again, fairly competitive against not only the best decks, but the best players in the world. And yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts after today's video. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think of the Mothrider as an addition to Milky Smooth. Leave that comment down below always, and we'll meet up at the end to discuss what I think of it. All right, so enjoy today's gameplay footage. On the draw, double cave, never the worst. Oh, rune deck, grody. That's gross. I mean, we do have the Skyclave, which is nice. Actually not seen runes a ton, so this is interesting. I've chosen not to run Myria because of the lack of runes in general. This is for 3. Let's just try it. See if we get it. And this is easy enough, right? Is there protection? Nope. Okay. Sure. Can't complain there, can we? Ooh. Well, maybe we can. At least it's just a token. That's not the worst. We certainly can't complain about this either. That's pretty funny. Double Thalia. I will strike with the Intrepid, clear the token. That's fine, whatever, right? Let's go. It's a target for them to brune up, and if we can deal with it now, it's easier than later. 4 cards in hand. No attack. I don't like to Brutal Cathar the Skyclave. Typically not a big fan of it. Here's Adeline. Here's the land. Since we have Cathar to deal with stuff, the 1 extra damage is irrelevant. Don't need to tap the apparition with the Evangel. Right, just smash in. 5 into the end zone. And turn. Now, if they play a big threat, sure, we can Cathar out, take care of it. If not, we go right to Evangel Town. Ooh. That's unpleasant. No, 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 no. Yeah, I mean, I still want to just, I guess, get as much damage as possible while accumulating a fairly substantial field state. These Sigardians are amazing for the Inquisitor Captain as well. They really increase, because they're conjured into the game for the rest of the game. Those 3 or less mana value creatures, which is beautiful. Hit for 5, down to 7. We toss the 1, which again is really good for the captain. And if these die, they go, to the grave for the captain as well. Because there's nothing worse than playing a captain and not having the ability go off, because so many creatures have already been played. You can still play creatures and not feel bad about it because you're just generating more creatures into your deck. Right, like this isn't 3 of our 26 creatures or whatever, it's 1 of. Game, and we don't even need the Archon, which is a fairly good sign. On the draw, super slow hand, but I cannot, nor will I, just out of preference, complain, I suppose. Let's keep that all bottled up. It's gonna be a great hand. Look at this, 2 Mothriders. In testing, I did play double Mothriders one turn. It was so satisfying. Hopefully we can accomplish that for you all again today. I don't like playing against Ordrov. It is a very, very good deck. The cheat hook is fantastic. It's so good. And look at this fatty, 120 cards plus. Woof. That's a big dick. I'm just gonna play a vanilla Intrepid Adversary. We lose Thalia for 3. We gain the treasure. Not the 4th land, though. I'm gonna try to find it here. Come on. Oh, it's slow, though. Was it? Required sacrifice. Don't worry about it. Hero font. Let's deal with that forever. So it comes back as a token, right? Just get out of here permanently. I don't want to Catharic, because then, you know, it's going to come back for them. So things that scary need to be taken care of with the Skyclave. And if they deal with the apparition, then we Cathar the token, right? No harm, no foul. Wow. Okay, clerics. I hate clerics as well. So good. That has to be a Doomscar, right? I don't know. I don't know, man. I do know that that is fantastic, though. Just shuts down a lot of their deck. And again, if it comes back as a token, don't care. Prefer it, actually. There it is, yeah. There it is. Hi. Let's snag the big one. 4 cards in their hand. They've got the 2 Havens. And now can activate one of them. Scary. Oh! That's even scarier, bro. Snaggle daggle. Wish I had another land, is the thing. No attacks. We'll chill. 2 cards in hand. You never know how a overstuffed deck turns it around. Somehow they always do. I don't know. Mathematically does not make sense, but Exhibit A. Shouldn't have said anything. Oh my Lord. Don't like it. I guess if we just start stacking these Mothriders and pray that they're out of removal and don't top deck anything crazy. We're at 29 life, so we can survive a little bit. Eventually, we'll be able to block these frightening things. How? Shuffler's fine. Don't ask too many questions. I don't understand. Shuffler's totally fine, you guys. mean, at this point, I'm just kind of addicted to it. I know the Skyclave's great, but look at these Mothriders, baby! I'm gonna push the agenda. On to 7, let's go. This is bad, isn't it? Well, I don't have enough land to do it here. Very bad. I ain't just like, get out of here. Get out of here. And we still have lethal regardless. With another Mothrider, but we could have exiled that book of the Diddles. Wow. 4 Mothriders. Going first, we do not mind. The hand's not great. I mean, we have so many 1-drops, it's kind of crazy we don't have one in hand, but whatever. It's cool, it's cool, it's cool. I'm cool, bro. You cool? They're in tap, so, you know, the Luminarch should survive. Are they playing an Is It deck? Is this mono red? Garul? What's their second color here, if they have one? First days of a new card release, you really never know what you're going to run into. Maybe a Rakdos deck. Who knows? Oh, it is. There's the addition of black. Removal. So their next spell gets an extra 2 damage here. Want to, I guess, double drop Evangels next turn. More creatures. More creatures, more creatures. Mardu deck, there's a white source here. Let's just play 2 creatures, tap some stuff, hit for 3. Up to 23 ourselves. Now I'm just a little nervous about a meat hook. I will block the goblin, just get that out of here. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 we'd hit for with the moth. Not enough. Would like to add a line before the moth if possible. Looking for a 2-drop or less off the top. If it's a land, we can add a line and Mothrider. That's pretty ridiculous, right? I don't know. Being greedy, we should have blocked it. Here comes a meat hook, and we just get punished for not blocking it. Meat hook for 1, guaranteed. Without a doubt. It has to be. Single target with a learn. That gets to go to any target. I thought that was to the same target. It was just an additional 2, but it's the remaining damage on any target on the next spell. That's so good. So they nuke 2 of our creatures. Not impressed. It's not a meat hook, though. They could have killed all 3. And we deal with that excess 2 damage, which I thought was to the same target as the next spell. I didn't realize it was to any target. That's pretty cool. Quiet, you. I'm gonna go right in with the Adeline, hit for 4. Down to 15. Apologies. I don't know if that bled through or not. Kiki Jiki's in the house. Adeline's good if there is an attempted hook. Good as it's going to get. We top deck a secondary Mothrider. Right? Let's go. Bloodthirsty uses the ability, and they play the Inspiration or the Molten. Molten kills Adeline. Oh no. Oh no. $21. We could take it. Well, isn't that just perfect? We have to take Kiki Jiki for sure. There's an ETB there, right? And then the Mothrider. Let's go. Let's go. That's really cool for 5 mana. The Cathar and then the Rider for 2 after. We lose the token. We kill the Goblin. They're down to 11. We're at 21, right? So they need to wipe the field here. We need to top deck just like something incredibly good. Kiki Jiki comes back as the enchantment, I believe. As it re-enters. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it would come back as the enchantment. 5 cards in their hand. Makes me incredibly nervous. Doesn't help any. Still very, very nervous. I think this deck plays with Tybalt / Valky, right? So that's never great. Here's a wedding announcement. Good value. 1/1 token active. Oh, you dog. You are an absolute dog. They could have instant speed removal in hand for 3. We hope not. And keep the Cathar back, I guess. Ooh. I do not appreciate that. It's a good thing we kept the Cathar back. Ouch. Okay, okay. There's a lot of removal here. That, I mean, doesn't really matter. We can just... Did they not choose our Seat of the Empire? No text. Let's keep it in hand for a bluff. Oh, they did choose it. I will sacrifice this. We flip tonight. And, you know, this is not a castable card, but maybe they think it is. Hive of the High Tyrant is great. Hive of the Hive Tyrant. We'll call it Ivan from now on. Ivan? Stop it. Another? Wow. Real funny. Real funny, Arena. They top deck Town Razor Tyrants and I top deck lands. Let's go. That's fantastic. Hit for 10. I would assume, or even 14, dare I say it. Could even be higher. Could be higher. No, we have the first strike on... Well, no, because it's going to be a 4/4 with Menace. So, Very unpleasant. Very, very unpleasant. We might get hit for 18 here. Just 10, it looks like. I mean, I would have swung with everything. But you do you. That's kind of the point in the game where you would definitely just smash the spacebar, right? But, I mean, there's no disrespect in playing it safe either. I was gonna say, I'm just gonna draw another land anyways, right? So it sucks that this is not anything better, but we're just forced to do it. And I think we still lose. Right, this is not a winning war. Winning match, I don't know. Situation. War's a bad adjective these days, I suppose. My apologies. Nice top decks. I mean, smash in, right? Why would you hesitate? I'm just gonna leave, I think. Right. We could do this. Why not? Oh my lord. I'm sure they're missing lethal, but it's what it is. We just take the 9. That'll never work. Let's just see what we top deck before we bailed. I mean, they definitely have it. They still have it, which is pretty sad. Right, still just good game for them. If double menace attackers. If the life gain saves us at all. It would be cool if we could push into it, but no dice. Moonrage doesn't flip because it's not a cast. Ouch. I forgot about the flying. The Big Mac. Okay, the Big Mac. I'm missing some lands, but I'll entertain you. Third land's alright. Even for the 4th and 5th as well. The feeling of this hand, very heavy. And we come to a grinding halt. Womp womp womp. Patchwork is really good. I think a buff Adeline's our best bet here. I honestly do. No, don't. That hurts a lot. All right. I mean, just go crazy with these evangels or what? Focus on dumping our hand, building to 5. The Ogre-Headed Helm. Good card, right? I like the alt art on this as well. Very cool. This guy has a whole body now, not just the head. Even gave him, I guess he was like a, kind of resembled the crab. No association officially. Ouch. Nice. Oh, red burning us down. We're down to like 9 mana. That is not good. We need some exile here. I'm going to take Luminarch because I have a Adeline in hand. We'll just push up the captain. I'm nervous. We need life gain. Really, really bad. Fifth land wouldn't hurt either. I will block this patchwork if I'm able to. They might equip, though, and give it first strike, which would be brutal. Could be like a... Yeah. Not good. They could even put the battery on it, right? That's 5 damage. No blocks. That is brutal. Slam in with the Vigilance, make the token, which gets obliterated. But we have blockers. Sort of. Put it on the legendary creature. I am nervous. Bankbuster is fairly good, and they can draw here. Plus, it pushes up the patchworks. Holy Toledos. Holy Toledos. They folded their entire hand. Good for them. We need that life gain. We're going to chump block. Which is fine. Easy chump block. Which is a bummer, but it is what it is. Looking for life gain. Definitely looking for life gain. Little tappy here, little tappy there. Smash with Vigilance. And they're nice chump blockers, right? We can do this indefinitely. For a while, anyways. Good attacks. 1/1 just gets dealt with. We need life gain so bad. Right, like they're one top deck away from winning. Which is scary. Very much so. Guess the trigger's on them. We're just waiting to make the 1/1. Which actually will push Adeline up to a 7/5. Fairly aggressive. That'll be 11 damage coming into the end zone here. They're going to trade with the captain. Not think of that. It's good. Good for them. Good move. Really, really good move for them. Push up Adeline a little further. We have a chump block, and then we can go sideways on the others. I guess they're all chump blocks, to be honest. You know, we're sitting on a double Evangel again next turn, so They only have 8 life, and Adeline hits for 8. Oh, ouch. Very good. All we have to do is survive this attack. Adeline will hit for 9 still. Pardon my math. They're tapped. Ooh. Smart. You can't pay the ward or anything crazy. But we can go wide. I mean, yeah. I just won't pay it. I mean, they've been top decking really, really nicely the entire game. They only have 3 land, and they have applied so much pressure to us. It's not even funny. Like, I'm nervous they might just hit us with burn damage. We need to find some life gain. Wow. That physically hurt my soul. Really good. Really, really good. Do it. Do it. Do it with both of them. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Right? That's 9 damage on board. I think we've just won. Low. Good game, La Big Mac. Oh, they can, well, it doesn't matter. They don't have ward. And they only have 1 mana, so they can make another creature through the reconfigure, but I think it matters. Oh, oh my lord. We had to work for that. It was a lot of pressure. I like the deck, Big Mac. Very cool. On the draw, a couple of our favorite cards available to us. Nice turn 1. Even better turn 2. Potentially, we'll have to see what we're playing against. I am in love with the Usher. I know it's not as popular with others, but if you don't have a turn 2, you do now through the Usher. And again, it's great to keep some of that value in hand, potentially against a control deck, while still assembling more on the field every turn. This is a blue source. This is a white source. Looking down the counterspell barrel here, and my Thalia will not fall victim. But I do want to pick out the counter if it's there. So we apply more pressure. Hopefully we grab that 3rd land, or they tap, and we can sneak Thalia down. That +1 spell cost is always very good. There's the land. Let's force the issue. Hit for 5, down to 13. And this should be safe, I believe. Could fall victim to a potential Fading Hope, right? On end step. No. Okay. So 3 mana down. 1 blue, 2 white sources. 2 of each now. Oh, no. Ouch. Get wrecked, aggro player. Looking for the 4th land. Really having a hard time finding it. Kind of it. Kind of there. Hit for 2, down to 11. They're just gonna grab back the Purge. Which is, it's good, right? I don't know, like, seems strange. Just gonna dump into a token. Purge is not great to look at. Very good card. We've got some 4-drops, though, that are, you know, excluded from that whole little pony show, if you will. We could grab an Adeline here, so let's just jump in with the captain. I would imagine there's counter magic here. We pull the Adeline like we originally thought. And if the token swings, it makes another token. Triggering Adeline. Beautiful. Hit for 2, down to 11. Here comes the Divine Purge, but it won't hit the captain. So they need a way to deal with this right now. There it is. Beautiful. Straight to exile. Do not pass go. Do not collect your creature into the graveyard. And here's the Purge on the field again. Beautiful. Down to 3 cards. It's honestly just time to play Flyers because they have Hall of the Storm Giants. And we have to go over top of it. Otherwise, it's a suicide mission. It's a nice divide. Divide and Divine. Very good together because this is hitting 4 or greater. And Divine's hitting 3 or less. So it's a really good way to split up your priority. It's a foretold. One can only imagine Doomscar. I think this is 5, right? And then 6 total to attack, which we do not have, sitting on 5. Let's just continue to dump in. I would hate to have the same batch of creatures hit with Divine Purge twice. They would be so expensive, right? Nearly unplayable. They try to tiptoe around the remaining value they have left. 2 in hand. Trying to dodge any of their value-based engines. You know that's a Doomscar. We're going to get hit with it no matter what. We have multiple Adelines. What if it's not a Doomscar? Screw it, let's go for it. Maybe a misplay here, but it would be pretty deadly to dump some Mothriders out of our hand. And I think they see the one. Well, I know they see the one, so I think that they are being cautious about it. Getting another Divide out of the way, I honestly don't mind. The Teaching of Archaics is a little annoying as they get the draw, but what can you do? Zorius control anyone? So here it goes, draw 2. Really good advantage for them. Three cards in hand. What I assume to be Doomscar Foretold. Let's try it. Just trying our best to retain value within our hand. Another March. It's a good card. Really, really good card. But we get to hit for 3 down to 8. That thing is we've lost our land, so now we're prone to field wipes without rebuttal. But again, you know, we're sitting on the hand. That should help us get the job. Ooh. That's not good. That's really, really bad. Here comes the Doom. Oh, another Purge for 2. That's fantastic. Air and playable. I bet it is still a Doomscar, right? And they're just sitting on it, laughing. Laughing. I imagine we'll put it on ourselves. Adeline's a bigger threat. So if it was to be single target removal, which I don't think it is. Yeah. Hang's head in shame. Let's just try to burn through any counters they might have in their hand with redundant cards. It's a legendary, and we have multiple copies of it. Coming in tapped is fairly irrelevant as we're on 23 life. We can take a hit for 7 without really being too worried about it. This isn't great. The Divine Purge absolutely roasted us.
Run away. You'll be safe. Keep watch for intruders.
There are 35 cards. We're at 40. Ooh. So I think this match might be over. That is a ton of value. Holy Toledos.
Let your blade do the talk.
Guess we're looking for a Brutal Cathar on the tokens. Not good, man. Not good. Not good. Counter magic for 2? Maybe. Because the Divine Purge, right? So it could actually... Not the Divine Purge. Discover the Formula. Reduces things, right? So... 0. I mean, we can grab some potential life gain here, whatever. Bad. All very bad here.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
They have Vigilance, so, I mean, we're not going to attack through them. I mean, there's the Cave Dragon, but how do they not just have another March? I don't want to walk into that. Guaranteed. Guarantizzle, right? Let's just eat the Wanderer. Guaranteed they have, again, additional copies. Beautiful. Is that the first counter spell we've seen? I'm going to sneak Thalia out underneath of it. Do they have multiples? Oh my gosh. When you have it, you have it. There's no way to win this. There's literally no way for us to win this. Wow. Holy Toledos. Mothrider Cavalry feels fantastic. I do think that we potentially want to lean into it more with the main board, bringing Thalia into the sideboard with the Archon of Emeria if we need to defend against some of those non-creature decks. To be honest, I do think that the more non-creatures, Maul of the Skyclaves comes to mind, as well as Wedding Invitation, that can go in alongside the Mothrider Cavalry. Now, that is a deck that I think will really work. What other non-creature permanents do you guys see synergizing well with Mothrider Cavalry, right? That's what I'm looking from all of you. Obviously, we would be dropping Thalia, so we're not taxing ourselves. And, you know, Portable Hole as a defensive, maybe even offensive instants and sorceries, right? Or defensive, it doesn't matter. Really, really curious to your thoughts and opinions. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a magical day. Be sure to like the video on your way out, subscribe to the channel, become a YouTube member for exclusive content. I've been playing other games you might be interested in seeing. Right, some Battlefield, some Forza, even doing some pack openings. Just not more standard and Alchemy, right? Maybe some Brawl and Draft might work its way there. We'll see. If we can get enough members, we'll throw a party, right? But yeah, have a magical day, you guys. We'll see you soon in the next.